afternoon, Randy Rainwater. I guess we're closer, huh? Closer to the big news,
to
whatever
the
it
first
comes.
pitch of tonight's game with Arkansas and San Jose State. Is that what you're talking about?
Or to the Orioles ending a 2-game losing streak by getting the Red Sox out in the bottom of the ninth. That's all they need to do with a 7-1 lead, yes. Or maybe a new basketball coach at Arkansas. Because the one that Arkansas is expected to hire has now said goodbye to his previous fan base.
You know,
and he did it in a classy way.
Yeah.
I thought it was classy.
In fact, I've heard a couple of friends. First thing they said, I can't believe he didn't mention Arkansas. That was not about Arkansas.
No. That
was
right.
not about Arkansas.
That's right.
That was saying goodbye to Kentucky.
That's right.
And I admit, I admire, you're talking about something that you admire. I admire the aspect that he said, it's time for a new voice.
Yeah.
You know, it's time basically for a change. And, after 15 years, and he talked about how much he loved his time. That was his dream job and so forth and so on. But the respect that he had for the Big Blue Nation, for basically the University of Kentucky and the basketball program, you could hear it. You could tell that he had invested 15 years of his life there. So I thought it was very classy as well.
And look, Arkansas fans are excited he's coming. It had to be hard to leave. Even with dissatisfaction. He's leaving a phenomenal job. Let's face it, Arkansas, by many, is regarded as the second best job in the SEC. Kentucky's been around in the SEC since the 1930s when the SEC formed, and even before that they were really good. And so they have won 8 national championships, which is second only to UCLA. And so it's a plum job, no doubt. They sell out every game. But Arkansas is a really good job too. But nonetheless, and no matter what you do, if you do something for 15 years, it's not easy to leave.
No.
I worked at Arkansas in the athletic department for 24 years. And even when I knew it was time to go, it was still hard to do. And then I worked in Springdale Public Schools for 15 years. And that wasn't easy to say goodbye. I made so many friends there and learned so much there. So I get it. Now, I didn't do any videos when I left. Nobody cared that I was leaving, but for him, I thought that was a really good thing to do. And there will be, I think, even the Kentucky fans that were down on him will appreciate it. What do you think?
You have to respect again a man who gave it, whether or not you can discredit or downplay what lack by Kentucky standards, especially they had accomplished, that is, Kentucky had accomplished in postseason. Now, you can talk about regular season, and there was still success, but not to, again, now you have to take out, was it the 2020 season that he went 9-16? Was that the COVID year? I think that's right.
COVID year was when it, let's see, 20, yeah, it was 1920, that's right.
Or 2021.
Yeah, one of those years. He had one losing year.
Yeah.
In 15.
And of course, this was a losing season, as it turned out, first for Eric Musselman. So it happens.
Yeah, right.
You look at the tenure of Mike Krzyzewski. It happens.
Yeah. Well, look at, how did this start? It all started because USC's coach went to SMU. SMU fired a coach that had a losing season. They hired a coach that had a losing season. At USC this year, he was 15-18. So he'd done well before then, but this year he was 15-18. Then USC hired a coach who had a losing season. So Arkansas is getting the best deal here because remember this, we can say, Kentucky lost to Oakland. Really? They did. They were a 2 seed going into the game. That means they had a really good regular season. And sometimes that happens in the NCAA tournament.
Well, you mentioned the 8 national championships by Kentucky.
Yeah.
Number 6 last night for Connecticut.
Yeah, my gosh, they're closing fast, aren't they?
And that was not, for maybe a half, you could say it was competitive.
Yeah.
And I actually paid attention to what the broadcasters were saying last night. Ian Eagle, by the way, I don't know if he's ever called a national championship game before, but Boy, it sure sounded different not having Jim Nance on the call.
It did, but he's good. But you could watch Jim Nance sell Capital One.
Oh, he was quite,
He was everywhere. He and his buddies.
Yeah, he's somewhere in the shower somewhere right now. I'm making out doing something. But anyway, I just thought that I begrudgingly, not that I've ever been a major fan of Grant Hill, but I thought he did a quality job last night. And I love
Bill Raftery.
I love Bill Raftery. And
me too. And I think about this, and you think, Randy, I think there is such an emphasis on now, and oh God, you got to get people in their 20s and the 30s and the 40s. Bill Raftery, I'm guessing, is over 70.
He's got to be,
because he has done this for a long time. Okay, so I worked at the athletic department 24 years. It's been 23 years since I worked at the athletic department. So that's a long time ago. Bill Raftery was doing games early in my time at Arkansas, and really a classy guy and a good guy. So you look at that. You look at Calipari 65, Petrino 62. I mean, there's still a lot of life in some of us when he hit the older age. So it was cool to see, because I wasn't sure Bill Raftery was still with them, and it was really good to see him doing the.
Well, that basically reminded me of a CBS broadcast.
Yeah,
everything about it. I'm talking from the music to all the graphics.
Right.
Even the director was from CBS. In fact, they were
talking. McManus.
Yeah,
Sean McManus,
they're talking about him.
His last game. He's been there
finishing
a long time.
up this week at the Masters, and then he's retiring. But everything had a CBS feel.
Well,
to it.
CBS basically has the rights and sold them to TBS, but I'm sure there were some agreements there that it still had to look like a CBS telecast, even though it was on TBS.
It sure sounded and looked like it.
So the whole time, once it was a TBS telecast, you were down to the Final Four. There's Clark Kellogg. He's CBS, and he's working with the TBS crew. So, and I think Jay Wright is CBS.
Yes,
so you had two CBSs and 3 TBSs working that, and then oh gosh, I can't believe I'm thinking
Ernie Johnson.
No, the lady that does the sideline and does the interviews.
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy Wilson. She's CBS.
Yeah.
So it was a combination of the 3 of them and of the 2 networks combined, and that's how it works. And you have to think that ESPN, now that they are paying over $1 billion a year or whatever it is for these college football playoff games, and I think they're going to now 12 games, isn't that it? When you have 12 teams, it goes up to 12 games. You got to believe they may be doing some of the same. They may be saying, okay, we got all these ESPNs, but if somebody else wants to buy the rights to 2 or 3 of these games, we'll work with you.
Aren't they trying to do that for the opening round? That first 4 games, I think it is. Aren't they trying to already do that?
Maybe so.
I think they're in the process of trying to sell off those first 4 games and then pick it up from there. There's been so much written, so much said, I can't remember all of the so-called details. Speaking of the Masters, it begins this
Thursday.
week. Yeah, after all that we have been talking about, what all we have been consumed over, now we're getting down to Masters. And then you've got Arkansas baseball tonight, and calm the nerves, Rick, of those that are worried about rain.
No, no, not tonight.
Okay.
No.
That's all.
No rain tonight. It's very nice. 74 degrees right now. It's been cloudy all day, but no rain. It's going to be nice.
And we are now joined by Kevin McPherson, better known as Hoop Scoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. Kevin, it feels like this saga between the departure of Eric Musselman and the hiring of John Calipari, which is still not 100% official, but I think everyone knows it's official. But feels like it's been a month. I'm worn out.
A month, Randy? You must have gotten some good sleep in there. It felt like 2 years to me.
Okay.
Let me
I'm worn out.
Let me get everybody up to date. I have posted pictures of photos that were sent to me of John Calipari in a red suit jacket, inside Bud Walton Arena, one of the murals at the south entrance when you come in the museum's there. So I've got photos of that out. I've got an itinerary of what's supposed to go down tomorrow. If y'all want me to run through that real quick.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to do that, but real quick, I just tweeted this out right before I came on the air. I have a source telling me that Calipari intends to bring as many as 6 staffers with him from Kentucky to this job at Arkansas. So as many as 6 staffers that have worked with him at Kentucky. I just put that out, and then we're going to go through the itinerary here that I have. This has been shared with me, official announcement. I mean, I'm told it could still happen today, but more likely tomorrow morning, sometime in the a.m., maybe through noon. Look for that in the official announcement. Arrival at Drake Field around 1:30 tomorrow for Calipari. Arrival for Spirit squads at Bud Walton Arena to be between 4:30 and 5 p.m. Doors will open to the public at 5 p.m. with Spirit squads in the arena by that deadline. And then the ceremonial intro event should start around 6 p.m. Those are the times I've given. I've even got information about 3 SUVs being delivered to Ozark for 3 basketball GAs to go pick up sometime tonight, vehicles for use tomorrow. I've gotten some of that information in as well. So it's getting granular in the groups here for me, guys, working this, trying to get information. And so, whenever I provide source information, I know that can rub folks the wrong way. Sometimes it's hard to reveal sources because they don't want their names connected to it. And so, I feel good about this information, but am I ever 100% on things? Sometimes it's tough to get there until it actually happens. But, the photo of the mural does not look like anything that was Photoshopped. It looks legit. It's a pretty clear picture that I tweeted out just a few minutes ago.
Now, Kevin, when you said initially you felt like it's confirmed that 6 staffers are coming with Calipari, I was hoping you'd say 6 players are coming with Calipari.
Well,
that's right.
Well, now that's very possible, guys, and I'm working on an article that I want to have ready. I could put it out now. I just want to wait until they announce it. I just think, even though he's departed from Kentucky, everybody probably watched that video that came out earlier today, his farewell. I remember Mike Anderson did one after he was on his way out the door. He put a little video together.
Very
we didn't
nice.
see one from Eric Musselman.
No.
I know he put a statement out. I didn't see a video, but this was a video we saw earlier today. But I do think Arkansas is going to be in play. I mean, they've got 6 players, 3 McDonald's All-Americans signed or committed in the class of 2024, and I think Calipari's probably going to get, I would guess, at least half and maybe 4 of the 6 players. If it's more than that, I'll be surprised. Maybe 5. I don't think he'll bring all 6, but I think he's going to get at least half of it. And then there's players entering the portal. Aaron Bradshaw's one. Some other players that we'll see if they test NBA draft waters. They just jump in the portal. And then Arkansas's got players in the portal. I just had an SEC school call me about Caleb Battle and give a rundown on my takes on him and his season at Arkansas. And so I've had SEC schools calling me for player evals on Devo Davis, on Layden Blocker, and now Caleb Battle, who jumped in the portal recently. Once it was known Musselman was going to move on to USC. So we'll see who all might be in play there. I'm told Battle may not be inclined to stick around, but NIL purse is about to go up. I'm told between $5 and $6 million, guys, per year, and we could see upwards of $8 million a year for 5 years on this deal, is what I'm told. I don't know where incentives play into getting to 8, or if that's a baseline and there's incentives to do better than that. But my guess is, it may come in around 8 per year for 5 years on the deal when it's announced. So just trying to do the work without anything official out there. I think we brought some pretty good information today.
One player who will not come with Calipari is Rob Dillingham. He was the All-SEC second team, 6th man of the year, averaged 15.2 points a game. He is projected to be the 4th guy picked in the NBA draft, and he has announced that he's going to go. He's going to go in the NBA draft. He was a freshman this past year, so he announced
Some
that
of the Reed
late this
Shepherd.
afternoon.
I think Reed Shepherd's a first rounder. I'll be surprised if he sticks around. And I've seen that young man play in Dillingham in person multiple times when they were in high school, and impressed with both, obviously. But yeah, I think you're right, Rick. There's going to be players that are not going to go with Cal. They're going to go to the NBA, and that's what he's always been. He talks about, look, I don't bring these 5-stars in, these highly rated guys to stick around. I bring them in to help them get to the next level. It's was almost like a farm system up there. The 1-year layover from high school to the NBA.
But listen to this. Is this another recruiting pitch for Calipari? When Dillingham made that announcement, he said, I felt prepared. Coach Calipari taught me a lot about how to be a better teammate, and it was not all about me. What a great thing to say about Calipari before he departs.
Well, here's the reality. Even with 5-stars, if you're loading up on them, guys, there's still only a percentage of those that are actually going to make it in the NBA. And most of the players that are going to make it, they have to start learning. You're not the only alpha in the room anymore.
Exactly.
And these teams are going to value you for what you bring to the floor, and a team concept and winning. It's not always going to be about you. And you have to learn how to play the game that way. And so that's a great message for any player. I mean, I look at a guy like Isaiah Joe, who was undervalued and underrated coming out of high school, but he always played the right way. He understands how to make winning plays without all of that being about him. And that's one of the reasons why he's one of the best 6 men in the NBA after playing 2 years at Arkansas. Just using him as an example, who wasn't a 5-star. So whatever your level of talent is coming out, you need to understand that first and foremost.
Kevin, what about I think it's a 7-member 2024 class. We know that Carter Knox has decommitted. He didn't sign, so all he had to do was decommit. But what about the bulk of that recruiting class? That we do understand one of the players that is a 5-star was Mr. Kentucky and is from the state of Kentucky. So I really do doubt he would follow Calipari. But what are you hearing on his?
That's Travis Perry, a 6'1" guard from Eddyville. He was not a 5-star. He's a top 75 guy. Depends on the service. I don't expect he'll come. And as far as I know, Randy, it was a 6-player class. If they got a 7th guy, he wasn't rated.
Okay.
And I don't know about him. But 3 McDonald's All-Americans there. You mentioned Carter Knox, already decommitted. I think he's one that's likely to come with Calipari. We'll see. Jaden Quaintance, a 6'9" forward. Word of God Christian Academy in Raleigh, North Carolina. Another McDonald's All-American. I think he'll very much be in play. Boogie Flan, the 6'2" guard from New Jersey. Just threw myself off there. But Boogie Flan from New York. Another talented McDonald's All-American. We'll see what he does. There's going to be a lot of push from some of these East Coast schools. UConn, St. John, some of these programs will probably try to jump in back in the mix. We'll see about him. Billy Richmond, who's playing in Memphis. His dad played for Calipari back in the Memphis days when he was there. Is another one to keep an eye on. And then Santos Cyril, a 6'10" forward center, who's in the Overtime Elite program along with Billy Richmond, Carter Knox. Both of those guys, again, could very much be in play for a Calipari move to Arkansas and joining him with the Razorbacks. So I think 3 or 4 of those guys are likely to come, and we'll see if he can get as many as 5.
We may be way ahead of the game for me to ask this question. What about Mark Mitchell from Duke, who started this past year, and he's entered the transfer portal? Would he be a possibility?
I think anybody's a possibility when you're talking John Calipari. This is the greatest recruiter of all time, and he's an innovator because of the one and done. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but what's the world we live in now? Players coming and going. They use college game as free agency. Effectively, that's what one and done.
They're all one and dones now.
They're all one and dones in some form or fashion, if they can be, for that next step to the next level. And so, I think anybody's in play for him, even out of the portal. The portal has not been his forte, but he's pulled some really good players out of there nonetheless. Trey Mitchell helped that Kentucky team be good last year. We know that. Antonio Reeves was a guy who got out of the portal a couple of years before that, and a big-time scorer up there. And took Arkansas to task in Fayetteville. I remember that 2 years ago, and then in the 2 wins this year, scored 20+.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he can do it in the portal as well.
Well, Reeves is gone. He's gone to the NBA.
Yeah,
so
he's gone.
We know he's not coming.
But I was using him as an example of a guy he pulled from the portal.
From Arkansas's current staff, Kev, do you see anyone that Cal will retain from the current staff?
The one guy I hope he finds a staff, a place for would be Ronnie Brewer Jr.
Yes.
And Ronnie's been, 5 years ago when Mike was leaving and Muss was coming in, it was Scotty Thurman that hung around for a while and really helped Mossman out. I think Ronnie, you'd like to see him, and he was not retained. I think he was offered, but he was an assistant coach at that point and was offered a different role back into admin where he'd been before and passed on that. Ronnie is kind of similar, recruiting coordinator,
Kevin,
staff member.
We got to run. Thank you.
Calendars for the 20th annual Double B's Buzzbarbecue, Saturday, May 11th at the downtown Riverside RV Park in North Little Rock. Tickets on sale soon.
Fellas, what's good? Clint Sterner here. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have noticed a lack of motivation and drive, have weight gain or lost some muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they make it easy to get your levels checked, man. It's just a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office, fellas. It's concierge medicine for all of us men. They're physicians. They specialize in treating low testosterone with customized treatment for each patient. Most health insurance is accepted for treatment, and they have affordable and convenient treatment options, including physician-monitored self-inject treatments for established patients that ship directly to your home each month, so there's no need to drive to the center for weekly visits. Right now at Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your T levels tested with results back in 25 minutes. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Coach Kevin Kelly joins the Zone each Wednesday, presented by Wooded Rock Athletic Club. The indoor pickleball facility is now open. Join the club today and save 30% off joining fees.
Save on FN pistols with the Spring and Savings Cash Rebate Program at Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. With the purchase of any new FNX 45 tactical pistol, you can claim a $150 rebate. Or purchase select new FN 509 tactical or Edge Series models and claim $125 in rebates. You can even purchase select FN 509 standard or MRD models to claim $100 in rebates. But hurry before time runs out. So make the short drive to Stuttgart today and visit Max Prairie Wings or click online at maxpw.com.
Love off-roading? There's a 2024 Chevy Silverado Trail Boss at Gwatney Chevrolet ready for a driver. It's got improved shocks and suspension, plus wheels made for the off-road. You can make it yours for as low as $61,905. Call, click, or come visit Gwatney Chevrolet to hear about our available rebates, and we'll make you the boss of the trail. Come see us in Jacksonville or visit GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Alyssa Milano's acting career has earned her an estimated net worth of $10 million, which makes her recent actions of soliciting funds on social media for her son's baseball trip to Cooperstown rather puzzling. When you're worth $10 million, it takes a lot of nerve to ask strangers for $10,000. In a time when many are struggling to pay their bills. Unbelievable. Gandhi once said, "There is a sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed." Maybe someone should explain this to Milano. Double B's has such good prices that you won't need to launch a GoFundMe to afford the things you want to buy. Fuel, food, fun, it's all waiting for you at Double B's. Because Double B's is where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. Drive Time Sports, tapped with refreshing sports opinion on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer. I'm Randy Rainwater. We'll be joined by Kevin Bohannon in just one moment as we go around the horn, thanks to the Wood Family Dealerships. It is raining right now in central Arkansas. I guess that means April showers may bring May flowers, but at Gwatney Chevrolet. They're showers of savings. Now, Gwatney makes it easy to treat yourself to an upgraded 2024 Chevy Silverado truck with an off-road performance package, heated leather seats, and more. It can be yours for under $70K with 2.9% APR. They also have sedans. There's a 2024 Chevy Malibu for under $23K. Now that's a sweet deal. With spring savings like this, who knows what May will bring? Keep an eye on Gwatney Chevrolet to find out. You can pay them a visit at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville, better known as the Gregory Street exit, downtown beautiful Jacksonville. Look for that huge American flag. Or go to GwatneyChevrolet.com. I think you'll find what you want to find there. That's Gwatney Chevrolet. And
baseball season is in full swing, and you don't want to miss a thing. It's time for Around the Horn with Kevin Bohannon. Around the Horn is brought to you by Stanley Wood, Buick, Chevy, GMC, and Scott Wood, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. And now, it's time for Around the Horn.
Rick, I'm going to go right down the itinerary that Kevin sent me. He said, I'll give my take on Cal. If it comes up, I have thoughts. Razorback keeps rolling. Are they peaking early? And then the high school baseball postseason starts, hard to believe, in 3 weeks. Yeah,
oh
in
my
3
gosh, really?
weeks,
oh,
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
3
and
weeks.
So with that, Kevin, it seems like we always run out of time. So I want you to start where you want to start today.
All right. Well, we'll start from the bottom up. How about that?
All
we'll
right.
start with some high school baseball. Dominant pitching has been the story so far this season. With you have 9 pitchers that are committed to the University of Arkansas in this class, and will they all make it? No, they don't all make it. But we have our Super 7 baseball rankings out. You can go to naturalstatesports.com to view those. You can also see them on Twitter, and you can also see mine and Kyle Sutherland's latest Arkansas Preps Weekly. It's our very first episode on our new platform, so we're really excited about that. Now, looking at Class 6A, Rogers and Rogers Heritage are a combined 30-2 this season. Rogers Heritage undefeated at 16-0. Springdale Harbor got a big win over Fayetteville last night. 3-2 ball game. Luke Cornelison, 2025 Razorback commit, got the game-winning single. Fayetteville's really good this year, though. 15-3 in the Central Conference. Bryant has taken a lead early in that after their 9-1 win over Cabot last week. They're 13-4 overall. Catholic beat a really good Conway team last week. Joe Castillo and Brooks Ward hit home runs in the 6th and 7th innings to give the Rockets the win there. Going down to Class 5A, Valley View's running away with it. They no-hit Batesville last week in a doubleheader. Notice what I just said right there. They no-hit Batesville in a doubleheader last week. 12 straight innings of no-hit baseball by the Blazer pitching staff. Eli Crescelius threw a complete game in Game 1, and then Lance Davis and Slade Caldwell teamed up in Game 2 for the no-hitter. 15-0 win. So, Little Rock Christian, they're number 2 right now. They did lose to Sylvan Hills last week in one game of their doubleheader. Greenwood, the West is kind of crazy right now with Greenwood, Greenbrier, Russellville. You can throw Van Buren in that mix. Marion's looking really good in the East. Benton, Lake Hamilton are 2 of the top teams in the South. And then Maumelle here in Central Arkansas, they're 11-4 on the year. Tag Andrews, Peyton Lee, both Razorback signee commitment, respectively. So a lot of fun in Class 5A. Who can knock off Valley View? That seems to be the going thing this year. Class 4A, Lone Oak again, 18-3 overall. Morrilton, Coach Mike Lee has done a great job this year with the Devil Dogs. They're 16-2 on the season. They should run away in the 4-4A. The 1-4A is kind of crazy right now up in Rick's part of the world. 3 teams tied atop. Well, not anymore. I'll take that back. They had a conference game last night. Prairie Grove beat Gravette, so now it's Prairie Grove at 4-1, and then Huntsville at 3-1, and Gravette at 3-2. Magnolia's looking really good in South southern part of the state, they're 13-3, 6-2 in conference. Nashville's leading that 7-4A conference with a 7-1 overall record. Robinson at number 4 in Class 4A right now. They're 12-6 overall. Young team for Coach Isaac Delaney, but they've got some really good arms. Class 3A, a lot of private schools at the top. Harding Academy and CAC, they seem to be the two most talented, consistent teams. Walnut Ridge playing really good ball. They beat Melbourne last week 2-1 in a big conference game. Nolan Belcher, Coach Jason Belcher's son, flipped his commitment from Arkansas State to Kentucky yesterday. That gives Kentucky at least 3 classes out of the last 7 where they've pulled at least one player out of the state of Arkansas. Looking elsewhere in Class 3A, Genoa Central's 13-2 right now. Rivercrest 12-4. Those two teams, Rivercrest, of course, made the finals last year in Class 3A. Class 2A, Woodlawn 19-1. They lead the state in number of wins, but Rector's 12-0 right now. They're the only other undefeated team outside of Rogers Heritage. So we got 2 out of about 305 high school playing teams in the state that still do not have a loss. McCrory beat Palestine Wheatley last week 1-0, and then lost to Desart. So the 6-2A is still kind of crazy. Mansfield won 6 games in 5 days last week. They're 8-2 on the season. Bigelow's won 8 straight. Greenland 13-3. Like the Pirates in the Conference 1 of Class 3A, Riverside and Southside B Branch round out the outside looking in. Then Class 1A, Taylor, Westside, Greers Ferry, St. Joe's. Really good team. They beat Nemo Vista last week 11-1. Nicholas French, 9 strikeouts in that game. Viola, North Fork, Mount Ida, and Scranton and Armorel round out some teams to be watching in Class 1A.
Hard to believe you said that a moment ago. 3 weeks away from post-season play. Would that mean districts, regionals? Is that what you're talking about specifically?
Yeah, district tournament starts in 3 weeks for classifications 4 and below. Not every one of them will have a district tournament because some of these 4A schools play double round robins, like the 5-4A that includes Robinson, PA, and Lone Oak. So, but the 1-4A, they play a single round robin, and then they will go to district and then regional, and they will match up with the 4-4A with Morrilton, Ozark, Dardanelle in the regional tournament. So a lot of quick, exciting fun in high school baseball over the course of 10 weeks, and then they go right into postseason.
All right, quick question for you. I have not seen, this is concerning Central Arkansas Christian. I have not seen Grayson Wilson, his name at all. Is he not playing baseball this spring?
As I know, he's only thrown 1 inning, though.
Okay.
And, I mean, he's playing center field. They're bringing him along kind of slow. Of course, he's still doing some football stuff. He had the Elite 11 regional in Oxford, Mississippi this past weekend. So they're bringing him along slowly. They're going to throw him in some critical conference games. Their conference is not really tough, Randy. I mean, Dover, that's their competition in that conference. That includes Maumelle Charter, Baptist Prep, some younger teams. So they're going to throw him when they need to, and then hopefully they get a good draw in the state tournament. They've got some depth. Webb Watson's committed to the University of Missouri, and Harrison Richmond's looked good on the mound as well.
Let's see. Randy, your management skills are as bad as Joe Biden. There's no time for the comments. Stop asking the questions. Stop taking callers when they have 15 seconds. Geez, if it wasn't for Trey Biddy, there'd be no reason to listen. When 17:30 hours hits, I'm always out. Get better or retire. By the way, I only spent 37 years in radio, so what do I know? Okay. Gosh, after all this time, I have something to improve upon. Thank you.
You don't need to read those. I mean, come on. That's
all right, Kevin. Let's see what's next. Oh no, let's do this. Have I given him? I will give him more than 15 seconds. Jake, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Good afternoon, Rick, Randy, Kevin. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Jake?
Doing well. Thank you for asking. Man, I just want to hear Kevin's take on the game tonight and who we're pitching and how it's going to go. And then I also want to say, and I have to say this, guys, get rid of quote-unquote Hoop Scoop. He knows nothing about basketball.
Well,
I I can Google more than he knows.
Well, Jake, I wouldn't say that. We've disagreed with him on some things, but he does have credibility. So you don't need to keep attacking him every time you call. It's okay.
How much did he know about Calipari?
I don't know how much he knew about him, but he gave us some indication of the schedule today, which we haven't gotten anything from the athletic department. So if he's right, I appreciate that because we're trying to figure out how we're going to cover that tomorrow.
I just want him off the air, man. I'm tired of hearing it. He talks like crap out of his mouth every time he opens
Jake, what would I do
mic.
if everyone that said, I don't want to hear Jake on the air? So
well, how about if the guy that just texted Randy
fine.
doesn't want Randy
or
on
how
the air?
about how about I
Well,
retire?
anymore.
How about I retire? According to this guy, I need to
I'm
retire.
But I'm not sponsored. I'm not sponsored.
But he's not sponsored
That's
either.
the
More.
thing. This guy is like, I still want to know what are this guy's credentials, what are his accolades, what gives him the right to say what he says, because it seems like a farce. So please, somebody tell me what are his credentials?
Let's just say this again. I don't know that it does any good to run
I
somebody
know,
down.
dude. I know a lot about basketball, Rick. I can tell you about
Jake,
basketball.
let me say this: when it comes to, we're not talking about knowing about basketball. We know if you score more, you win. But there have been times he has informed us about recruits that somehow he is getting that information that we may not be getting that. And I know in football, people love
Recruits don't matter anymore, Rick. It's a new era.
Well, Jake, I just don't know if we need to continue this conversation because obviously you don't like him. You've made that point, and we appreciate you making that.
I'll give you an update on tonight's ball game. How about that, Jake?
Yeah, let's talk about something else, Jake.
Yeah, San Jose State not very good this year after making the regionals last season. They're 12-19 overall, 7-8 in the Mountain West Conference. They're led by Dalton Bowling. He's hitting .330 on the season, 14 doubles, 9 home runs, 29 RBIs. Ben Bybee will get the start tonight, and then Colin Fisher will get the start tomorrow night, weather permitting, of course. But this team is their pitching staff. Their team ERA is 6.35. Teams are hitting .283 against them. Arkansas should go 2-0, and we can talk a little bit more about it on the other side of the break.
All right, stay tuned. That's Kevin Bohannon. Thanks again to Wood Family Dealerships. Drive Time Sports will continue in just one moment.
Kevin Kelly joins the Zone each Wednesday, presented by Wooded Rock Athletic Club. The indoor pickleball facility is now open. Join the club today and save 30% off joining fees.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. For the past few months, we've been asking you to give us a chance to buy your cars, and the response has been great. We really appreciate all of you who brought your cars in and turned it into cash. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Folks, we're still buying cars every day. So look around and see what you or your family has in the garage that you want to turn into cash. It's really easy, folks. Just come into Fletcher Dodge and ask for Chris or Andy. We'll buy any vehicle and we'll pay you more than anyone. We can't find enough vehicles at the auto auctions to meet the demand, so we're extending you this offer to the public. We'll pay you more, so don't wait. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Come see us today for the best cash offer on your car, truck, van, or SUV. Just ask for Chris or Andy. We'll pay you more, so come see us at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood. Thanks.
Quality Outdoor Products in Alexander, your metal roofing superstore, has a brand new showroom. Take exit 126 off I-30 and visit with Cal about a new carport or metal building. 40-year colors are available at only $289 a foot. 20-year colors are $259 and Galvalume runs $249. Trim and accessories are always available. Take exit 126 in Alexander or call Cal at 501-455-0240 about a new carport, metal building, or metal roofing supplies.
It's Pat Bradley for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, where their customers are always number one. Speaking about numbers, 6% APY is still available at Alcoa. Earn up to 6% interest on your checking account balances for doing the things you already do, like using your debit card in direct deposit. You can also get your ATM fees waived. Apply today for your free Kasasa checking account and earn up to 6% APY at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties.
Looking for a way to jumpstart your spring to-do list? Head into All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros to help your car, truck, or SUV recover from the cold winter temperatures with our variety of spring services. From changing your oil and filters to inspecting your tires, All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros experienced mechanics will make sure you're ready for any adventure this spring season throws your way. Visit in-store in Mableville or Woodrock or online at allabouttireandbrake.com to schedule a service today. Tire Pros love the drive.
This is Pat Bradley for the service department at Henry Foothills Equipment in Searcy. Whether it's Kubota, Vermeer, Spartan, or Steel, Mickey and his team will take care of you. Henry Foothills Equipment in Searcy, your hometown Kubota dealer, no matter where you live.
Make this summer one to remember by stopping by Arch Marine in North Little Rock. Arch is all about creating fun on our lakes and rivers. You have to come by and see the new 2024 G3 Tri-Tunes, the hottest and coolest ride out there. We're easy to find. Take the Levy exit.
Southern Bank presents Family Feud on 103.7 The Buzz. Tune in to Morning Mayhem on Tuesday mornings for your chance to play with Justin Moore, David, and Roger. Family Feud on Morning Mayhem brought to you by Southern Bank. Bankwithsouthern.com.
Great friend and great supporter of The Buzz, First Security Bank. As Arkansas's community bank, First Security helps people make life better for themselves and for other Arkansans. They focus on helping make our community stronger. Every dollar that stays in the community helps the community through things like new homes and businesses, so other people can have better lives. The financial professionals at First Security are big fans of Arkansas, and that's because they're Arkansas-owned and Arkansas-focused. They take care of communities just like they take care of customers. Check them out at fsbank.com and get ready to bank better at First Security. Remember, FDIC, equal housing lender, only in Arkansas. That's First Security Bank.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. For peace of mind, share with us a piece of your heart. This is Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer, Kevin Bohannon, as we go around the horn. Thanks to the Witt Family Dealerships. I'm Randy Rainwater. Joined now by Neil Atkinson by way of Bet Saracen. Neil, boy, do I like the numbers you've got today on Arkansas and San Jose State. Arkansas minus 6.5. The over-under, 17.5.
Yeah, this one was a tough one. Last I look, I think we're the only legal sports book that has a line anywhere, and I'm talking about nationally on this game. So we put our pen to paper and got a lineup for you. And, of course, always we got the double R special. So if you want to bet Arkansas sports, of course, Bet Saracen is the place to go that will give you the coverage, not only of the Razorbacks tonight, but if you're also a Travelers or a Northwest Arkansas Naturals fan, we do have lines on those games also. And can't not mention that this is Masters Week. And don't forget, tomorrow is the Par 3 contest. That is a lot of fun to watch. A lot of the guys have their sons and daughters and grandchildren out there caddying for them. It's a fun if you can catch that. There's a little fun wagers on that. Then also check out the rest of the Master specials, including some Tiger specials. So,
holy smokes, I'm going through all the Master specials. It's going to take me a day to read them all.
Oh, it's not that bad. But anyway, the thing about golf is you got to bet before the tournament starts. So we've only got about 2 more days to bet on the tournament. There will be some live betting to win the tournament while it starts. But, you know, the Masters is a rite of spring, and everybody loves to watch that. tournament, and it's just a special week in golf and in sports in general. And, of course, don't forget, we're winding down the NBA and the National Hockey League regular season. Check out those lines, specials surrounding that. And then the playoffs will be here before you know it, both the Stanley Cup and the NBA playoffs. So, hey, just because college basketball is over with, and the biggest story in college basketball on the national championship day is Arkansas and not the game, in my opinion. We have a poll on Bet Saracen that 97% of the people that voted in our poll, I don't know if there's any bias there, that was the most important story in college basketball, and anything that gets the fans engaged. A bookmaker likes that because they tend to bet a little bit more on their team. And, hey, Coach Cal's probably going to make me sweat a lot of liability next year. Let's hope so.
All right, Neil, where can someone get a hold of this great content?
All right, go to the web and just type in betsaracen.com. But most of us on our phone, 96% of all bets on Bet Saracen are done on the phones, Android or Apple.
Wow.
Check out your Apple store or your Google Play Store. Just type in Bet Saracen, download that app. You do not have to sign up to check out all of the great content. And I'm pretty sure once you see what we've got, just hit that register button. In as little as 5 minutes, you can be betting on your favorite team or sport.
Like it. All right, Neil, we'll talk with you tomorrow. That is Neil Atkinson. Be sure to sign up at Bet Saracen. You can do it online, betsaracen.com. Better yet, go to the App Store and get it there, Bet Saracen. All right, Kev, you were right in the middle of talking about San Jose State and the matchup, and the timing almost hit perfect with Neil. Man, I like these numbers on this game. 6.5, I think that's what it was. Yeah, 6.5 minus 6.5. Arkansas over under 17.5 runs.
Yeah, 17.5 runs seems a little much, but when you go back and look at what Arkansas has done in the midweek games, that's possible, but they're going to have to score 18 by themselves, I think. Will they give up a run or two? Maybe. Weather kind of different out there. The ball may not fly as far. So it'll be interesting to see. You think we're going to get some Peyton Holt tonight? Probably get some Nolan Souza. What a year that freshman is having. Woo! After having a fall to where he hit under 200. Now he's had 2 multi-homer games in SEC play. He's got 6 home runs on the year out of 20 hits. That's just amazing to me. 357 average. This team continues to do things that I didn't think they would do at this level. Look, I picked them to win the West and win the SEC overall. I didn't think they would have the best start in the history of Arkansas baseball in forever at 27-3, or in the SEC at 11-1. Now, the front half of the schedule has been softer than the back half is going to be. You got a road series at Kentucky. You got Texas A&M. Those are 2 top 10 teams right now. You got to go to Alabama this weekend. That's going to be hungry for a series win after getting swept by that said Kentucky team last weekend. Alabama's talented. They've been ranked most of the season. So Auburn didn't pan out like they hoped it would so far this season, and LSU is out of the rankings now. So along with Wake Forest. Well, Wake Forest crept back in after a good weekend last weekend. So while college baseball for the most part has been turned upside down, Arkansas has been the one consistent this year. And that's nothing new for Arkansas media that covers baseball or us that talk about it. It's just, hey, they're doing better than what they said. With that question, have they peaked too early? And that's going to be the question now, because why? We can't ever enjoy nice things in Arkansas. That's just the way it is. I don't think they've peaked too early because they have so many different guys that can play well at any given time. When you have 12 or 13 guys that you can insert in a lineup on an SEC weekend, say half of those are doing their job and performing well, you're likely going to win 2 out of 3. Now, if everybody has a bad day, that's when you start losing. But go to the pitching staff. You've thrown 20 guys this year. You've got 4 guys that would qualify for an ERA title because now Will McIntyre has 36 innings pitched. Brady Taggart, 36 2/3 innings pitched. Mason Molina, 37 1/3. Hagen Smith leads the team at 41 innings. So you got a fourth starter right there as a long reliever because he's going to get 3-4 innings every weekend. And Will McIntyre's just been one of those things. I listened to his interview with Phil Elson and Bubba Carpenter, and it's just, how he worked with Kevin Kopps in the offseason and just going out there and pitching. And in the era of velocity and spin rate, it's nice to see somebody that goes out there and knows his job is to get outs, because you got to count 27 of them during a game. How do you get to those 27 outs? In the past, Coach Van Horn and Coach Hobbs have had trouble because they've had limitations on their pitchers. There are 5 or 6 guys that can go out there and do it, maybe 7. Now you've got at least 10. We've been saying that all year long, back to the preseason. You give me 10 guys, 4 of those are starters, you have a national championship caliber team. Right now they do.
My question would be, and this was very difficult when I was looking at the San Jose State numbers, coming up with the RR prop specials for Arkansas, because I didn't feel like, or I questioned how much we would see of the starters. You mentioned Nolan Souza. Here's a guy, Kevin, you don't want to take him out of the lineup right now because he is so hot swinging the bat.
And as long as the righty's throwing, he's going to start the game at DH. Now, you'll see starters, they probably start today, off tomorrow, or vice versa, but they're still going to get some at-bats. You're going to get 13, 14 guys some work over the next 2 days, hopefully.
All right, Kevin, we'll talk with you later on this week. That is Kevin Kevin Bohannon, better known as Around the Horn. He's our baseball guru. Coming up next, Trey Biddy of hogsports.com.
Stanley Wood Chevrolet Buick GMC wants to make sure you're getting the service you deserve and your vehicle needs. Choices in sales, service, fair prices, and relationships built on trust is the Wood family promise, and we stand by it. When you purchase a new vehicle from us, the first oil change and inspection is free. Come see us today and experience the Wood family promise. Stanley Wood Chevrolet Buick GMC in Batesville, just south of the airport. Online at StanleyWoodChevrolet.com. We are professional grade.
There are no ordinary days in Arkansas. Hike to inspiring summits, bike on world-class trails, or fish in sparkling waters. Or see some of the world's top art collections and explore historic sites dedicated to everything from civil rights to rock and roll. After that, eat some award-winning barbecue and sip a local craft beer. So go on, get out there, and explore what the natural state has to offer. Find out more at arkansas.com.
Listen every Wednesday when RJ Hawk joins his old buddies on Morning Mayhem. Presented by Natural State Wholesale Flooring. See everything that Natural State Wholesale has to offer at naturalstatewholesale.com.
103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock. Powered by you, the fan.
Fire it up! I'm listening!
Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
Funeral arrangements are still being made for Shorter College President Jerome Green. Green died on Monday. He was 69 years old. Green was appointed the 45th president of Shorter College in 2012. He earned his doctorate at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock and the School of Law. In addition to acquiring a bachelor's at Miles College, he would work there and the Arkansas Ethics Commission before becoming president at Shorter College. We'll keep you updated as soon as we know more. In Russellville, love was in the air during the eclipse as couples from 22 different states got married all at the same time. The ceremony happened just before the solar eclipse reached totality across Arkansas, giving the couples a chance to experience that as husband and wife. We spoke with one couple who says they've been together for several years, and when they saw this chance arise, they said, why not, and signed up to elope. The ceremony lasted 13 minutes and was officiated by one person who married all of the couples just before the solar eclipse entered totality. From the Channel 7 newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Rain and thunderstorms likely today, a little bit cooler too with a high of just 67 degrees. More rounds of rain expected Wednesday and early Thursday. A few strong storms possible, but definitely some heavy rain. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tickets are on sale now for the 20th annual Double B's Buzzbarbecue, May 11th at the downtown Riverside RV Park. Simple, great barbecue from incredible cooks from all over Arkansas. And while you're there, be sure to stop by the Buzzarito'ville Pavilion for a cold drink and some great live music from Bree Ogden and Bad Habits Jack Bennett. Brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai and MSA Customs. It's the 20th annual Double B's Buzzbarbecue, May 11th. Go to buzzbarbecue.com for tickets.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. Saturday, October 12th, Simmons Bank Arena. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guest Cheap Trick. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Don't miss 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Heart with Cheap Trick live.
Fellas, what's good? Clint Sterner here. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have noticed a lack of motivation and drive, have weight gain or lost some muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they make it easy to get your levels checked, man. It's just a simple blood test, and with their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office, fellas. It's concierge medicine for all of us men. They're physicians. They specialize in treating low testosterone with customized treatment for each patient. Most health insurance is accepted for treatment, and they have affordable and convenient treatment options, including physician-monitored self-inject treatments for established patients that ship directly to your home each month, so there's no need to drive to the center for weekly visits. Right now at Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your T levels tested with results back in 25 minutes. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
The Can-Am sales event going on now at all Bradford Marine and ATV statewide locations. Check out Spider and Riker motorcycles, Can-Am ATVs, and Sea-Doo personal watercraft, all with special financing. Save thousands on all remaining 2023 Can-Am models today at all Bradford Marine and ATV locations.
Always ride responsibly and safely. Follow all product instructional and safety materials. Observe all applicable laws and regulations. For your safety, always wear appropriate protective gear and clothing. Please remember that riding and alcohol or drugs don't mix. For ATV drivers, it's highly recommended to take a training course. For ATV safety and training information, see your dealer or call the ATV Safety Institute at 1-800-887-2887.
Crawfish season is finally back at Eat My Catfish. We've got fresh, live crawfish, and all you have to do is just add the fixins. Be sure to come see us or order online at eatmycatfish.com. Eat local, eat fresh, Eat My Catfish.
This is Pat Bradley for Whit Davis. Do you feel a draft around your windows? Does condensation constantly build up? What about high energy bills? It may be time for you to reach out to my good friends over at Whit Davis. Not only do they sell replacement windows, but they can also refer to you to a host of professionals who measure and install them for you. New windows can improve your home's energy efficiency while boosting your curb appeal. So what are you waiting for? Give Whit Davis a call. And remember, Whit Davis Lumber Plus is more than just a lumberyard.
Love off-roading? There's a 2024 Chevy Silverado Trail Boss at Gwatney Chevrolet ready for a driver. It's got improved shocks and suspension, plus wheels made for the off-road. You can make it yours for as low as $61,905. Call, click, or come visit Gwatney Chevrolet to hear about our available rebates, and we'll make you the boss of the trail. Come see us in Jacksonville or visit GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Looking for a great place to work? How about going to doublebees.com and apply online? I mean, it is a great place to work. Each and every morning, start my day off right. I head to Double B's because I want the bean to cup coffee. And what that is, it is a selected roast that I can grind and then produce a hot and fresh cup of my Renoco coffee. I can also check out the Renoco Cappuccino. And the great thing about Double B's, they've always got those monthly specials. In a hurry, you can always pay at the pump with your Exxon or Phillips 66 mobile apps at all stores. Be sure and sign up and pay with your Exxon credit card, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon at the pump. It is at Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. Make it Double B's.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 2 at Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaefer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. In a moment, we'll be joined by Trey Biddy of hogsports.com, being brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Do want to remind you, the bottom of the hour, we will join Phil Elson, Bubba Carpenter for the San Jose State Arkansas baseball game with the first pitch scheduled at 6 o'clock. And I also want to mention that tonight and tomorrow night, still got time to take advantage of Benihana and that great 2 for $60 deal that they have ongoing, which is the filet, chicken breast, colossal shrimp, 2 dinner salads, 2 fried rice with chicken. This is an outstanding value. That didn't include the entertainment that you'll get from the chef as he's preparing your meal right there in front of you. But this is one of the better deals that you'll find anywhere. I would advise you again to make a reservation. Always reservations are welcome at Benihana, and that's in the Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. I always tell you, talk to Maria, and that number is 374-8081, 374-8081, and tell her you want the dinner for 2 for $60. And you'll even take some home with you. I promise you. We did. And I'm sure you will also, because there's just so much there to eat, and you will be stuffed. That is Benihana, Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock.
And now, Trey Biddy is brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai, Arkansas's #1 Hyundai dealer, and Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today. Now, here's Trey Biddy.
Here's Trey. All right, Trey, before we talk about Sam Pittman, who had center stage this morning after the Arkansas practice, anything you want to add about Coach Cal, whether it's what we anticipate is the timeline now for whether it be announcement, whether it's going to be the major pep rally, which we understand is going to be 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Anything that you want to add to those timelines or any other things you want to throw out there concerning Coach Cal?
Well, I got a new cover on my mic. Can you hear me good, Randy?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Good. So, yeah, I mean, just a lot of excitement. And, I mean, I've seen, obviously, pictures of Coach Cal in a red blazer. Obviously, that's doctored and stuff. And in Bud Walton Arena, that we know that's I mean, they're getting ready, the graphics and all that stuff. I'd heard a while back that, like, the cheer squad was told to get ready for a Tuesday press conference, but I guess the timeline changed. This was obviously a few days ago. So, yeah, 6 o'clock, and it's amazing that it still hasn't been officially announced, but I guess we're waiting until the morning probably for an official announcement on all that stuff. And it's going to be packed. I mean, I can remember the Mike Anderson one, and that was the biggest one that I remember as far as introductory press conferences go, just how many people were in there. And I would expect there to be even more for this one, because you're going to have a lot more national media in town, satellite trucks and all kinds of stuff. It should be a lot of fun, and looking forward to it. Let's get this deal over with and announced, and move on to assistant coach hires and transfer portal and all of those things that come with coaching change.
There's going to be a lot of movement. I think we can expect that. That's going to be exciting to watch. Today, Coach Pittman took center stage. What did we learn today from Coach Pittman?
Well, I thought the most interesting thing, I asked him about if he follows basketball coaching searches, which he said he does. And, he even mentioned Calipari by name, which I guess might be the first public time that anybody associated or employed with the University of Arkansas has openly said Calipari. So, he said he thinks it's a Grand Slam hire, and talked a little bit about his experience with Hunter Yurachek, who, again, Hunter Yurachek was getting drugged pretty good through a lot of people, and turns out he helped engineer a Grand Slam hire. But just a few things with injuries here and there. That's always pretty notable stuff. You've got a few guys banged up. Andrew Armstrong was actually back out there today. Tyrone Broden has missed the last 2 practices with a family issue. I know what the issue is, but won't go into it. But it's a pretty serious deal. So Andrew Armstrong back out there, left hammy. Let's see, Jaden Wilson's back. He's actually been out there a little bit, but he was back out there. He's dealing with a hamstring injury as well. Mentioned Tyrone Broden. Davion Dozier actually looks like he might have hurt his hand today. He was in some pain. It was a deep ball and kind of went down funny, and was carried off holding his hand. Hopefully that's not too serious. Let's see, Ian Ford has a hamstring. He kind of did the splits the other day and pulled his hammy, but he's going to be fine. He did a little bit of stuff today, should be able to go Saturday. Marquise Robinson has a knee issue. I saw the injury. It was actually, I feel like it was about a week and a half ago, and he hadn't participated in the last scrimmage. I think it's just maybe like a knee-on-knee type of situation. It's non-surgical, so that's good. Jaheim Singletary has been out. Not sure what that is. Dylan has a broken hand, has had a broken hand. And Rashad Dubinion's still in green. Not sure what that is. Ty Washington's still in green, obviously, from his dislocated shoulder that required surgery during the season. Justin Logan's been in green the whole time, the freshman linebacker. So just a little bit of injury update. They'll be limited with a few guys, but nothing long-term, it doesn't seem like. Nothing that's going to hold anybody out of the season except for Zuri Madison. Am I remembering that name right? Offensive lineman?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
For some reason I was thinking I was remembering it wrong, but he had the ACL tear, so he'll miss the whole season. That was an injury before the spring, non-football related, scooter related. So that's where things stand on the injury front with football, and just a few more practices left. We got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with the red-white scrimmage, and they'll have wrapped that all up.
And you learned the format of Saturday's scrimmage as well.
Yeah, game-like. They'll probably pull the first group after the first half. I would expect probably some type of running clock in the second half. But the second group becomes the first group, I believe, in the second half of the scrimmage. And I think the main thing is, like, whoever wins, they have like a huge breakfast spread with waffles and eggs and sausage and, all the fixings, gravy. Sam Pittman mentioned you got to have gravy. And then the losing team gets cereal and milk.
And he kind of played the cereal up as if that wasn't the end of the world. But
there's some good cereal out there.
Yeah.
He's right. I mean, I like some Golden Grahams.
Yeah.
Get in some Golden Grahams.
Frosted Flakes with plenty of sugar.
Some Captain Crunch if you want to tear up the roof of your mouth, but it is delicious.
There are some good healthy cereals out there too. You can
Sure.
get some good granolas. I mean, there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah, good old Raisin Bran. Trey, back to Coach Cal. I'm getting a lot of Coach Cal comments on here.
Sure.
Says,
I can't imagine that there's anything but Coach Cal right
yeah,
now.
this from our live feed. I know our bus text line. Let's hear more on Coach Cal. We've suffered enough with football. It's the biggest story in sports.
Well, it is. It's everywhere.
So, Trey, what else would you like to add about Coach Cal?
What'd you think of his video? I thought it was very well done.
I did too, yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we've seen from him all the time. I mean, it was a farewell to people that he's been with for the last 15 years, and I'm sure he does have a lot of great friends there. I mean, he's a very personable guy, him and his wife Ellen, and I thought it was extremely well done. That's how you say goodbye. I mean, really, I mean, like, what else can be said about Calipari until we have this press conference? I've never seen this big of a gap between an announcement. When Bobby Petrino was hired, guys, do you remember that? I mean, it was the middle of the night. It was like I remember it was foggy, and
the press conference
it was
like at 10.
announced.
Yeah, 10 o'clock at night.
It was announced. It came out, and typically we see these things announced and then the day after. So this has been quite a long stretch. I mean, we're coming up on. It doesn't feel like it's 48 hours, right? It feels like it's been a week, but it's coming up on 48 hours since we started seeing the stuff come out about it. So it really, I guess, hasn't been that long. But I mean, it's going to be all the way up till 6 o'clock tomorrow. But I think the thing that gets intriguing with this hire is the roster for next year. What is it going to? Is it going to be a competitive roster? Is it going to be a roster that's a first-year type of, hey, we're getting things going, be patient with us? Or is it going to be like, hey, this roster can go out and compete and win the SEC? And that's what's going to get exciting. Connor Goodson, who just started with me this year, I mean, he jumps right into basketball coverage for us as our primary basketball guy, and he jumps right in with a coaching search and getting the coverage on Calipari. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And I was just telling him, I was like, wow, what an opportunity for you jumping right into this. And I just think it's super cool to be able to cover a guy like that. And, we talked about yesterday his recruiting prowess, 16 classes that he assembled at Kentucky, 8 of them were number 1, 7 of them were number 2, and the other was number 5. And it's going to be a lot of big-time players. Now, he can't just build this roster out of high school players. And some of those guys will come from Kentucky, guys that were committed already. Maybe he tries to recruit some of the guys that were already at Arkansas before. We'll see how that goes. But there'll be guys that were on the Kentucky roster last year that'll be on Arkansas's roster. There'll be guys that they were targeting in the transfer portal that'll be on Arkansas's roster. And the recruits also. And so there are 13 spots to fill right now. That's a lot. And I mean, like, I can't remember the last time I saw this happen. Well, I remember the last time. I don't know if it's happened since, but when Will Wade was fired at LSU, they had to completely rebuild their roster. Yeah. I don't recall them having a really good team, though, but quite a different situation.
They're okay. But here's what I think. I think if they'd have hired anybody else, including Beard, I think you could have thought, well, they'll be competitive the first year, second year they ought to be a lot better. I think with Calipari, the expectation is they're going to be good next year because he brings in talented players.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking with Beard, maybe some guys from Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss was okay.
Good,
they weren't great.
Sure. Some good players. Yeah. But with Kentucky, I mean, these guys, all but one of their players are ranked inside the top 50, and there's like 7 of them out of the recruiting class.
Amazing, isn't it?
Be a nice place to start. All right, Trey, this also from our bus text line, and this might be part of the reason there hadn't been an announcement at this particular point, but this from the 903, which is in Texas. Has it not been official because the board hasn't met yet to vote on it? Now, my understanding, the board was supposed to meet today.
Yeah,
but I do believe, Rick, some of the information I've received, they now will not meet until in the morning.
Oh, okay. Well, either way.
9 a.m.
Yeah. Okay, so they meet at 9. They do a release at 10. You got to make sure there's plenty of time for people to get up here. And Trey, we were talking about this earlier. If you do it at 6 o'clock, then everybody goes live with their news.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's makes 100% sense to go at 6 o'clock. And plus, if you want a packed crowd, I mean, you're going to hold a press conference at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, people have to take off work, all that kind of stuff.
Production.
They would, but it'd be a lot nicer to not have
That's
to.
Right. That's right. I agree.
Now, I do not have an answer for this question. How do we listen to the ceremony for Cal tomorrow?
I'll bet they'll stream.
I bet it'll be streamed. Yeah.
Will it be on the Buzz? Rick and I were talking about that earlier today, Trey.
I hope so.
With so much going on with Arkansas baseball starting at 3 o'clock, unless that hopefully stays on target, if not rained out. But hopefully they would be off of the network by that time. So if they wanted to put it up on.
Even if they're not, you think about this. There are times when 2 sports play at the same time, particularly baseball. Baseball plays at the same time as basketball. They stream them both. There's got to be a way where they can.
Okay.
They can do
Well, I'm
this.
just saying, if there's a way we can carry it, we will carry it, and I can say that. But television, I don't know. Now, this other question, Trace, concerning the red-white game, is it going to be on TV? Now, my understanding, it's SEC Network Plus.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's streamed. Yeah,
There will
streamed
be a
only.
radio broadcast. There will be a radio
Oh,
broadcast.
okay. Okay, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
The red-white game is at 12, and it will be streamed on SEC Network Plus. That's Saturday, April 13th.
Let's see. This also from the 501 asked Trey about the negative national attention on Arkansas basketball. I didn't know there was.
Negative?
Heard Hannah Storm on ESPN say the bar's pretty low there, speaking about Arkansas. I'm not sure what she's specifically referencing.
Hannah's done
the bar.
great. She has, and Hannah Storm has done a lot of work with Arkansas basketball through the years. You can't worry about what anybody says. The national pundits have given Arkansas great credit. They think it's a great deal. They also give Kentucky credit, thinking it's good for them too. But one ESPN guy wrote, Calipari can win the national championship at Arkansas. So, but you can't worry about. But most of it's been very positive, don't you think, Trey?
Yeah. I
mean, Hannah Storm, who cares? When's the last time we ever saw her?
She was still around.
She's still around.
Yeah.
Okay, this from the 870 Calipari.
Calipari.
Or Calipari.
Pear.
It's Pear.
Pear. So I'm sure we'll mess up on that now and then, just as it took a while for some of us to get accustomed to Bielema. So
Yes, there was the bee llama.
that went on for a long time.
Yeah, but it's Calipari. Pear, like you eat a pear. Calipari, Matthew Perry, Calipari.
Stream Cal between innings of hog baseball. Well, that's a minute. I don't know that you want a minute and then pause for about 15 or 10 minutes of action, then come back and catch the next minute before the next inning or half inning break. So I don't think they would do that. It's like Rick said, they would provide a separate stream. I will tell you what our programming plans are for tomorrow for the Buzz. The anticipated plan, there is a traveler game that starts tomorrow at noon. That is carried by our sister station, Buzz 2. The pregame will start at 2:30 on 103.7 The Buzz. Then at 4 o'clock, it will switch over. That is, the baseball game will switch over to 106.7. That is Buzz 2 after the conclusion of the traveler game. And so you'll get part of it. That is tomorrow's baseball game. If it starts again at 3 as planned, you'll get part of it on 103.7. Then it will switch over to 106.7. So that would open us up later on in the evening. That is 103.7, if there is a way we can live stream or carry the press conference involving Coach Cal. Not a big fan of Coach Cal. Winning will help Coach Muzz put the Razorbacks back on the map. A lot of people said it won't be no left field hired. I've been saying it would be. This was far left field hired.
Now let's say this. I thought Nate Allen had an excellent column this morning. I don't know if you all have seen it, but basically he talked about how, and give Musselman credit. One, took him to the NCAA, but people that are saying he left the program in better shape than he found it are totally wrong, because he found it with Isaiah Joe, Mason. There were like 6 players coming back from Mike Anderson's program, and if you'll remember, when he first met the team, he said, we can go to the NCAA with the talent that's here. He's leaving, no players. So let's don't say he left it better than he found it. He didn't. He made it a good job again, but he didn't leave it better than he found it.
I don't know if I mean, like, yes, the person, it's different nowadays with the transfer portal, obviously. You can quickly put together a team. But any coach who leaves a program these days, you're going to have players. You're going to have an exodus of players. You just
absolutely
are. In this day and age. He changed the perception of what Arkansas basketball is. I mean, they went to 2 Elite Eights and 3 Sweet 16s. I mean, and, made some big splash moves in the transfer portal and in recruiting. And I think a lot of that stuff put Arkansas back on the map because, they weren't that at all, really, before he got there. I think Arkansas has taken it up a notch, and there's 2 ways to go. You take it up a notch or you take a step back. And Arkansas has shown they are fully invested in taking things to the next level.
All right, Trey, we are out of time. We're about to hit.
Am I on air tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes.
I'll be at Bud Walton Arena.
You do it from there. I may be too. We got to figure out a way to do this because we all want to be there.
We're game planning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Trey, we will talk with you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Hey, Trey Media of Hogsports.com being brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. Coming up next, Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Arkansas, San Jose State. Keep it right here tuned to 103.7 The Buzz. Have a great rest of the night. So long, everybody.
Do you have what it takes to compete in the 20th annual Double B's BuzzBQ competition? Register your team today at BuzzBQ.com. Teams can compete in pork, chicken, ribs, brisket, and sauce. Spots are limited and go fast, and you don't want to miss out. Register your team now at BuzzBQ.com and lock in your spot for the 20th annual Double B's BuzzBQ. Sponsored by Michelob Ultra, Gravely Mowers, Oaklawn Hot Springs, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Lion Legal, and LRS. Benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charities of Arkansas and North Louisiana.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Tickets are on sale now for the 20th annual Double B's BuzzBQ, May 11th at the downtown Riverside RV Park in North Little Rock. Go to buzzbq.com to get yours. Sample lots of great barbecue and visit with your favorite Buzz personalities. It's the 20th annual Double B's BuzzBQ, sponsored by Michelob Ultra, Gravely Mowers, Oaklawn Hot Springs, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Lion Legal, Jez Camper Rental, and LRS, benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charities of Arkansas and North Louisiana.
Tickets are on sale now for the 20th annual Double B's BuzzBQ, May 11th at the downtown Riverside RV Park. Sample great barbecue from incredible cooks from all over Arkansas. And while you're there, be sure to stop by the Buzzeritaville Pavilion for a cold drink